So, is AI the enemy? Is AI the end of the published author? Stick around to the end of the video and you'll decide. But first, let me show you how AI helped me save a novel from the dead zone. Hey writers, so everybody's talking about this GPT chat and whether or not it is the salvation or the end of something great. If you're not familiar, if you've been in a hole for the last 2 weeks, GTP is a free, currently, it will be paid eventually, so check it out now. But first, watch this video. But what is AI chat? Why don't we ask them?
I'm an artificial intelligence language model created by OpenAI and do not have a physical form, so I do not have any preferred pronouns. You can refer to me using any pronoun that you are comfortable with. I am trained on a large dataset of text and can generate human-like text in response to prompts given to me. I can be used for a variety of tasks such as answering questions, language translation, text summarization, and more.
You can break down your ideas and your thoughts and have a conversation with an artificial intelligence about anything you want, and I am addicted to this. I love it. So full disclaimer, came into this very, very positive because I'm like, hey, wonder if the AI can do this. Because I had already tried, and I've got a video just up here if you want to give it a go. But first, watch this video because you got to outline before you get feedback, and that video is all about feedback. So let's outline first. But I took my novel, my dead, horrible, horrible novel, and I said, hey, AI, can you do this for me? Can you write an outline for me?
Here's a basic outline to help you get started. Develop a compelling premise or central idea for your novel. This will serve as the foundation for the entire story. Create a cast of interesting characters. Give each character a unique personality, background, and goals. Establish a setting for the novel. This can be a real or fictional place, and it should be described in enough detail to make it feel believable and immersive to the reader. Determine the main conflict of the novel. This should be something that the characters are actively trying to overcome or resolve. Create an outline of the major plot points. These are the events that will drive the story forward and ultimately lead to the resolution of the main conflict. Write an interesting and engaging opening scene to grab the reader's attention. Write a satisfying and logical ending. Revise and edit until the story is polished. Remember, this is a basic outline and you can always add, remove or change any step as you see fit.
Let me tell you a little story about my personal. I wrote a magical thriller called The Winged Lady. Yes, it was that pretentious. And I pitched this novel. I won the opportunity to pitch it to publishers and agents and editors at Cannes Zine Writers Festival 2009 in Toronto. Yay me. And I did pitch it, embarrassingly. Because it was not good. It was not good. Look, the idea was great. I spoke for about 4 minutes about the genre I had created. Goodness, this is so embarrassing. Tried to explain the overly complicated plot that really went nowhere. The plot was not good. If you're new to this channel, I have been a pantser through and through since my early days of basically pantsing my very first magazine, which is how I learned to read. But I digress. I pantsed this novel. And I'm not saying, don't hate in the comments. I'm not saying the pantsers are all bad. I'm saying I was not good. And the story would get away from me. I'd go off on tangents and I'd fall down rabbit holes and it was not good. I loved it and I pitched it and it didn't win. And then I pitched it again. I didn't learn my lesson. I pitched it again to publishing house I was doing marketing for at the time. And she very kindly, because she was my colleague, let me know that it was not good. I stuck it in a drawer and I grew as a writer. And then I said, hey, AI, help me organize my thoughts. And the AI did.
Sure. Here's a basic outline for your fantasy thriller novel. Act 1. Introduce the city of Wynn and its unique features, including the election of the king, the magic-powered knights, and the psychic communication stones. Introduce the serial killer and their gruesome artwork murders. Introduce Quentin Montana, a cynical and privileged knight tasked with catching the killer. Introduce Gregory Houston, Quentin's partner, and contrast his carefree attitude with Quentin's seriousness. Act 2.
Well, that's a big info dump. Maybe what I'll do is I'll ask the AI to revise the opening in a way that's a little more interesting and engaging. So AI, can you do that?
Here are a few ways you could make the first act of your novel more engaging. Start with a strong hook. The first act should grab the reader's attention right away. You can do this by starting with an action-packed scene, a cliffhanger, a shocking revelation, or a powerful image. Create tension, use conflict and suspense to keep the reader engaged. Make the reader wonder what will happen next and keep them guessing.
So that's nothing we don't already know, is it? So you decide for yourself, was this helpful or was it not helpful? The result is I'm excited about this novel again, and I'm thinking I might actually do it for Camp Nano coming up in April. So that would be very exciting to revisit this world that I have missed for so long. But does that mean that if I finish this novel and I write it, GPT Open Chat holds a partial copyright to my book?
As an AI, I do not have the ability to hold a copyright claim on any work. The work you produce using my suggestions would be your original work, and you would hold the copyright for it. However, I am not a lawyer and cannot give you legal advice. As long as you are using the information and suggestions provided by me within the terms of use and conditions specified by OpenAI, you should be in compliance with any applicable laws. It's important to check OpenAI's API service agreement and other legal documents to ensure that you are not in breach of any legal terms.
Let me just change perspectives for a second. It may not be legally wrong. What about morally wrong? What about just the ownership and the authenticity of your own work? Well, let me ask you a few questions.
Okay, so there's this thing in Word, don't know, stop you if you've heard it before, but it's this great tool. I've been using it for years, decades probably. It's called Spell Check. So what Spell Check does is it uses artificial intelligence to look at the word I've written and through a database of words that it has on file, identifies my spelling mistake and suggests other words that I might have been going for. This tool has evolved over time. When I first got it, it would autocorrect to the most bizarre words because my spelling isn't good, being dyslexic. But now it has gotten so advanced that there's even a tool called Grammarly that will tell me what tone I'm using. It will suggest words that I wasn't even close to writing. It will even suggest words that are different if I've used the same word too many times, or if I've been vague in my language, or used the passive voice in my writing. It will suggest all these different tools because the artificial intelligence has gotten smarter over time. So this chat is just the next stage of that. So if you feel that it is okay to use an artificial intelligence to help you with your spell checking, then how is it different to use artificial intelligence to help you organize your thoughts?
Is GPT the enemy? What else can we do with it? What is possible? Well, if you want to know the answers to that, check out this video here where I break down all the different things, including how we get feedback, and I trick a friend into getting feedback through the AI, and let's see what she says about that. Or if you're like, you know what, this AI isn't for me, you're human, you can make that choice. Check out this video here where we outline like R.L. Stine, who is a master of outlining, and I promise you don't have to do it on the porch.